What is up, everybody? How's it going? Happy Tuesday night. Welcome to episode 2. Do we call it episodes? I guess. I'm calling it episode 2. Welcome to episode 2 of the JARcast, my movie podcast. So yeah, welcome everybody who's already here. Let's see here. Let's turn that off. Who do we got so far? Looks like we got Short and Sweet and Hell Knight are here. Hell Knight, what's up, man? You were here like as soon as I went live with the little lobby thing there. I saw you pop up from a distance. I saw you pop up and say hello. So, man, if you're still in here, you've been waiting a long time. Good on you. Thanks for that. We'll give it just a couple of minutes before we kick things into full swing, but I got a few things to talk about tonight. Not a ton of news in the movie world, but there is what I got I think is good. It's the stuff I found interesting, at least. I'm not going to go over every single news thing that happened this week, but there are a few things concerning Tomb Raider, another Tomb Raider movie, a whole bunch of movies getting slid back, some almost more than a year in some cases. A classic, I guess, a cult classic at least, getting a remake, possibly, sort of, kind of. A reboot that some people are saying they want and some people are concerned about. And we're also going to look at one little gaming thing that kind of blew up last week I wanted to talk about just briefly there at the end. And we're going to take a look at 2 trailers, both of which came out this week. One was this weekend. Probably know which one that is. It's 2 big titans throwing down. And then another one just came out today, I believe it was. And also we're going to talk a little bit about a movie that I reviewed this week that came out of nowhere. I remember seeing the trailer a while back and I thought, yeah, that looks neat. But the movie, yeah, I just want to talk about it a few minutes. And yeah, then we'll get out of here. I will say that this week I probably will not be hanging around as long after the show, just chatting it up. I have something I got to do, so I am going to be trying to... I've been saying since I started this... Well, since I started it, I've only done one episode up until now. But I've been wanting to try and keep this one a little bit more shorter, like around an hour-ish for the entire show. So I am trying to kind of reel some of that in. I know I get to talking. I get, like I am right now, I ramble. So I am going to try and move these segments along. Still want to have interactions with all you guys, of course. But, yeah, so that's why I am going to be attempting to kind of tighten all this up, because I plan on inviting some people on the show here soon to talk with me each week about movies, and I don't want to look like a total ass when I do. I at least want to look like I have an idea of what I'm doing. So yeah, there's that. Let's see who we got in here. There's a couple of you in here. We'll go ahead and start here in just a second. I have, once again, just like last week, this is not going to be the final background. I have not had a chance to throw something else together. Possibly this weekend. I had some stuff personally come up, nothing really bad, that I've just having, like long-term stuff I've been having to deal with on my off time, so it's consumed some of my time, and that's fine though. So I haven't had as much time to devote to some of the behind-the-scenes stuff like this, so I knew this worked well enough from last week, so I went ahead and just used the same thing all over again. Alrighty then, so let's go ahead and jump right into this week's news. I still don't have any bumpers or anything. Eventually I will, but let's go ahead and jump right over into that. So, I know that a few of you at least are video game fans, and I obviously, anyone who knows my channel, am a video game movie fan. Well, to a degree, I guess. I'll call them as I call them. Some of them are shit, and I recognize that a lot of them are shit. But let's talk about a video game movie real quick that's forthcoming, and that would be the new Tomb Raider. So Tomb Raider 2 has got a writer and a director. No release date as of yet. I thought there was a release date too, but apparently not. They're shooting for next year, I think is what I wrote, or what I read. And that director, it will be a direct sequel to the 2016 Tomb Raider that we got last time, that's based on the newer Tomb Raider games that started in 2013. I really, really like those games. I don't know about you guys, but I was aware. I'd played Tomb Raider before the 2013 games, and I thought they were fine, but they just never... There was one of them I played all the way through, and I was like, yeah, it was pretty cool. It was like I think it was a remake of the first one or something like that on the 360, but for the most part, I thought Tomb Raider was fine, but it just didn't ever really... I wasn't like a hardcore fan or anything, but since the 2013 one came out, and those 3 games that have come out since then, those games are awesome. I love them. I love the look, the atmosphere, everything, and that's where the movie from 2016 pulled from. And coincidentally, I will be reviewing in the next few weeks, by the way. It's coming up in my video game movie review list, or series, rather. But it is 2021, and we are apparently getting a sequel to that movie, and it's going to be written and directed by Misha Green. And Misha Green, I was not familiar with her, but I am familiar with some of her work. She is apparently who is in charge of Lovecraft Country, the creator of Lovecraft Country. I myself haven't seen Lovecraft Country as of yet. I know it's in its first season, I believe, and I kind of wanted to let it maybe finish a season out before I would watch it. I've seen it on HBO Max sitting there, and I thought, yeah, I'm going to give that a watch at some point. I'm a Lovecraft fan, and it looked like a neat show, and I've heard good things about it, but I wanted to give it a little bit of time before I sat down so I could watch a whole bunch of them at once. But I hear it's really good. She's done some other things as well, or she's working on something. She's apparently working... She worked on Sons of Anarchy, a show called Underground. I'm not familiar with that one. She also worked, or she is working, she's producing an action film called The Mother for Netflix. I haven't heard of that one either, but I mean, she's keeping busy, apparently. She's bursting onto the scene and just like doing some shit. But she is also now going to be writing and directing Tomb Raider 2, which I doubt they'll call it that, but we're going to go with Tomb Raider 2 for right now. And we will see the return of Alicia Vikander as Lara Croft again. She played the part in the original 2016 movie. From what I remember about that movie, she did good. She had the look. She had the physicality. I don't recall her being a bad actress. I don't remember a ton about that movie. We'll see. I remember it being okay. Maybe this young woman, seeing as how she's had a lot of success with Lovecraft Country and some of these other things, perhaps she'll give it something fresh, and Tomb Raider 2 will be awesome. You know, honestly, when it comes to the Tomb Raider movies, the Angelina Jolie ones that came out years ago, there were, what was it? The second one, The Cradle of Life. Most people really trashed that movie. I actually enjoyed that movie. I actually enjoyed part 2 more than I did part 1, because part 1 was like goofy, but it would never commit to it. But the second one, it's like they just totally committed to it. They said, okay, we're goofy as shit. Let's just go with it. Just roll with it. I mean, she's like punching sharks, and there's growling sharks. She's riding them, doing all kinds of crazy shit. They just went all out. And I enjoyed The Cradle of Life more. Both of them weren't great movies in my opinion, but Cradle of Life was more entertaining. So hopefully there will be a repeat, and this one will be better than the last one. I don't remember the last one being terrible though, but yeah, that's cool. I mean, that's neat news. I'm anytime that they talk about doing another video game movie, you know, that's kind of like could be good, could be bad. You never fucking know with these things. I mean, it could be another Uwe Boll movie, or it could be like another, I don't know, Mortal Kombat or Prince of Persia or something like that. It could be a great flick. With this one, I'll say that the groundworks, the bones, the skeleton, if you will, for a good movie and an entertaining movie are there. Like Lara Croft, and especially the tone of the new Tomb Raider, could be a really kick-ass entertaining movie, very like Indiana Jonesy kind of. So we'll see if that's the way they go. Probably a little bit more serious than Indiana Jones, but that kind of like exploring tombs and stuff like that. It could be neat. Apparently, the last one did very well. It made just under $275 million globally, which I still don't think that's the highest grossing video game film ever made. I think that is still Warcraft. I'd have to double check that. But that's still a lot of fucking money, seeing as how that movie probably cost somewhere in the neighborhood of about $60,000 to make. So, yeah. I mean, not 60 grand. What the fuck? 60 million. Probably somewhere in the neighborhood of about 60 million. It made 275. I'm going to say it was a success. And I remember people having fairly good things to say about it. So yeah, Lara Croft. Holy shit, I can't talk tonight. Lara Croft, Tomb Raider 2, tentatively. Who's excited about it? I don't know. Hopefully you guys are. Before I come over here to the chat, it doesn't look like many of you are chatting here. I've not had anybody say anything since I started, which scares me sometimes. Hopefully you guys are still there. Just a second. Let me check something out here. This will definitely be cut out of the part that I upload to YouTube in the audio version. I am opening my chat. Sorry I closed it. Want to make sure it wasn't frozen. Come on. Yeah, I know. This is professionalism at its best. All right. So we're going here. Oh. Somebody just said something. I've got this on like 3 different screens, and I see it. I've got a screen across the room. It's actually on my TV too, and I can see somebody just said something. I think it's Short and Sweet. Is that who it is? Let me put it on this screen. I guess it's working. I closed that for absolutely no fucking reason. All right, here we go. Got it open. Got it back open so I can see. Okay, here we go. Ladies and jelly spoons. So, yeah, anyway, sorry about that, guys. It looks like Alvin has joined us. What's up, my man? And Short and Sweet said something and then retracted the message. What'd you say, Short? Anywho, yeah, Tomb Raider 2. I don't know. Did any of you guys like the 2016 Tomb Raider? Did any of you guys see the 2016 Tomb Raider? Any Tomb Raider fans in here? And if so, are you looking forward to Misha Green's Tomb Raider 2? I mean, I guess I am. I'll have to wait to see the trailer or something, hear more about it. As of right now, I mean, I'd say I'm kind of, okay, sure. I mean, I'll see it when it comes out. So, moving on, what else we got? Oh, we've also got this week Universal and just pretty much everybody, Sony, a shit ton of fucking movies just got scooted out of 2021, or at least the beginning of 2021. A whole lot of movies have been shifted and rescheduled, and apparently the catalyst for all of it was No Time to Die. James, or 007 is No Time to Die. It got shifted, pushed back again. And as soon as they pushed it back, it has been pushed. They reshuffled it to, I don't know, it's somewhere on here, I'm sure. They pushed it back. I don't think that movie's ever going to fucking come out, which I don't know. That doesn't bode well for it. Because I think everyone's accepted the fact that these things, the movies they're going to come to select theaters, I guess. But really, they're focusing on like VOD and streaming platforms this year. And MGM, who's making, I think MGM makes James Bond movies. They used to, but I'm sure they are as well. So I don't know why they keep pushing it out. I mean, it's just that's just what it is. Go ahead and release the fucking thing. It kind of makes me worried. Is that the only reason? Is because of theaters? I mean, everybody knows that probably for the rest of this year, all of 2021, if not the vast majority of 2021, theaters are going to be closed, or they're going to be limited like they are now. So I don't really see the point. Just release the damn thing. But apparently when they did that, because I guess it's the next real big movie that was slated. Nothing, I mean, maybe Black Widow. But that's coming to Disney Plus. But that was like the big one. That was the tenet of so far of this year. Everybody was looking forward to, and it got pushed back again. And as soon as it did, like a slew of like smaller big movies, if you will, got pushed back too. We got like Last Night in Soho. That's Edgar Wright's new movie. The guy behind like Shaun of the Dead and End of the World and stuff like that. End of the World, not End of the World. World's End. Ghostbusters Afterlife, which, Jesus, when the fuck? That movie was supposed to come out, I think, last May it was definitely last summer. I mean, by the time this fucking thing comes out, it would have been done for well over a year. The Uncharted movie, which I didn't even know it had a release date, but apparently it was supposed to be coming out the beginning of this year. Morbius, again, this is at least the second time it's been pushed. And a whole lot of other ones. Morbius was the one that caught my eye, oddly enough. Last Night in Soho is one of the Edgar Wright's movies. I always love them, but I never look forward to them. I don't know why that is. He makes great movies. Everything he makes is awesome. But whenever I hear about him and I hear a description of him, I'm like, that'll be fun. I guess, whatever. I'm not looking forward to it. And then it comes out and I'm like, that movie was fucking awesome. So I don't know. I'll want to see it, and I'll see it when it comes out. But Nobody. This one got pushed back a little bit as well. That one's supposed to come out next month, and apparently it's coming out in April. Nobody actually looks pretty cool. I'm not really sure of the tone of the movie. It almost looks like it's going to be a kind of a gritty John Wickish type of movie, like in tone. But it's got Bob Odenkirk, and he is typically the guy who played Saul in Better Call Saul and Breaking Bad, and yeah, he typically plays comedy roles, but now he's going to be like this hard badass in this movie, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to have a comedic turn to it. The trailer did not look like it. I mean, the trailer looked cool, but yeah, that's gotten pushed back. Ghostbusters Afterlife, which I thought looked pretty neat. I mean, for what they had to work with. I don't know where that movie's going to go and what the tone and all of it is going to be, but I mean, the trailer that I saw 5 years ago looked pretty cool. Uncharted, apparently Tom Holland, I had heard he was going to be Nathan Drake in Uncharted. That movie is apparently already done, I guess. I don't know. I mean, is it already done or it's about to be done? But it's been pushed back. And it looks like most of them have been pushed either to 2022 or to the end of this year. Except for Nobody, it got just pushed back to April 2nd if it actually comes out then. But you got stuff like Edgar Wright. Last Night in Soho is coming out in April, which it was supposed to be coming out right here in the beginning of the year. And let me see, where there were some more concrete ones down here. We've got, the Uncharted movie, as I say, unsurprisingly got pushed back to February 11th, 2022. I don't know when that, I don't even know if that had an official date, so that might not be a pushback. That might just be they've finally said, hey, this one's coming out in 2022. Morbius definitely did. It was already supposed to be out. I am pretty sure. I can't remember what the original date for Morbius was, but I'm pretty sure it was already supposed to have come out. And it got pushed back, and now it's been pushed back again to a fucking year. It's coming out actually almost to the day. It is the 26th right now. It is getting pushed back to January 21st, 2022. Jesus, that movie is done, completed, in the fucking can. What is going on? It's a Marvel one, so that's got to be Disney. Disney's got to be produced, or at least I don't know if they made it with the whole Fox thing. I'm pretty sure they did. But yeah, I guess is Disney making that one? Is that a Marvel like a MCU movie? I don't think so. I don't think that's an MCU movie. I'd have to look into that. Who? Sony. Oh no, that's Sony. Never mind. That's the Sony Marvel. So I mean, he could be in with Spider-Man and Venom and all that. But yeah, that movie, it's been fucking done either way, and it's coming out a fucking year from now. That's ridiculous. And we got some other smaller movies, Peter Rabbit 2, Cinderella, all of it's just a whole lot of fucking movies. The Kings, man, I was really looking forward to that one. It's gone from all the way to August 20th. Why? Why August? They're pushing everything out of the beginning of the year, and there's nothing coming out right now. Nothing. Nothing is coming out in the beginning of the year. This is when you release a fucking movie, man. There's no competition. Release something, and I bet it'll do well. I mean, there's some stuff coming out, I guess, closer to summertime, and a lot of it's tentative. And there's a lot of smaller movies, but as far as big studio movies, there's nothing really coming out right now that anybody's hyped about. Release these fucking movies. Release some of them. So, Antlers, that's another one. October 29th, 2021. What the fuck? That movie was supposed to come out, I think it's been a year. It's already been pushed back a year or close to it. I think it was supposed to come out at the beginning of last year, and now it's been pushed out till the end of this year. Holy shit. I really see a lot of these movies possibly getting released online early or something like that, because usually when you have movies just sitting in the can on the shelf, they happen to find their way onto the internet at some point. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these popping up online, people pirating them and shit like that. I don't know. Any of these you guys disappointed about? I mean, I guess I'm not. I guess I wanted to see them. All of them look fun. Antlers, that looked really kind of out there and weird, but I wanted to see that. And Ghostbusters, that's cool. Some of these other ones, Morbius, sure, why not? Last Night in Soho, like I said, that's one of those movies I won't be hyped for until I see it, and I'll probably love it. But, I mean, I get maybe that's why. Maybe these movies are all just kind of like those mid-range big movies or mid-range studio movies, and they're pushing them out. They're afraid they won't do well now. I just think this is the time to do it. Pushing everything to the end of the fucking year when everybody else is pushing stuff out, these movies will get drowned out then. Release them now. But I don't know. What do you guys think? We got Short and Sweet said Candyman and The Quiet Place too. Yeah, The Quiet Place got pushed out again as well. There's also, speaking of The Quiet Place, I was talking about, I think it was, oh no, that's actually a story we're going to talk about in a minute. They're talking about a Quiet Place spinoff. But yeah, Quiet Place got pushed out again as well, which is pretty, I mean, that movie, I think it was it was supposed to come out right when theaters shut down back in March of last year. And I don't have it on here, but it got pushed out again, I think to like August or something like that. I could be off on there, but it did get pushed out once again. Candyman, I don't know if they gave an actual date on Candyman. I wouldn't be surprised if they pushed that out till next Halloween again. I mean, if they're pushing these movies out until like a fucking year and they're already done, I mean, I'm sure they'll push Candyman out a fucking year as well. Tom Goes to the Mayor. Man... that's that fucking movie. What the hell? What are those guys? Tom and shit. No, not Tom. Tim and Eric. I fucking hate those guys. I'm sorry. I know this guy. He loves Tim and Eric, but I think that's that Tim and Eric movie. Get the hell out of here. Oh yeah, I really want to see Antlers. Short and Sweet said Halloween Kills. Yeah, Alvin said Halloween Kills. Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think Halloween Kills has been pushed out as of yet, but it depends on when it's slated to come out. I'm not sure. It's not like anytime real soon, but it is this year. So, I mean, it may or may not get put. It's funny because all these big studio movies, it's like the studios don't know what the fuck to do since it's like all VOD and they don't have theaters. They're just like, what the fuck do we do? I mean, we don't know how to operate like this. But you've got like the smaller studios that have been putting out like movies straight to VOD or straight to DVD or whatever all these years. They're just like, fuck yeah, this is what we do every week. Nothing's different. And I mean, the big studios are just like, what do we do? It's kind of fucking funny, actually. Odenkirk works with them. He does, yeah. He's in some of their stuff. They actually, I mean, to go back to Tim and Eric, they got some funny skits here or there. But man, I can only take them in small doses. I don't know what it is about them. Maybe I've just seen the wrong Tim and Eric. But I've seen some of their stuff at length, and some of it was just like, oh my God, mind-numbing. Some of it was all right, though, admittedly. All right, so what's next? Yeah, lots of shit getting pushed out, just like 2020. What the fuck is new? Speaking of what's new... Anybody ever heard of a movie came out in the 80s called Alien Nation? There's a TV show in the 90s, too. So any fans of either the old 90s show or the old movie from 1988? Had James Caan and who was it? Terrence Stamp? I think Terrence Stamp was the alien. Well, if you are into that, then you'll be happy that they are apparently... doing a reboot or a remake or something like that. Kind of, sorta. I mean, yeah, but no. Anyway, apparently, I don't know. Jeff Nichols, I'm not sure what all he has done. He's got he's got a lot of stuff on his plate that he is working on now. But he was apparently working with Fox, who originally owned the rights to Alien Nation, on developing a remake or a reboot of Alien Nation. And they gave him the go-ahead, and it was supposed to be a big-budget thing. I think he said somewhere like $100 million film studio, or studio film. And they were working on it. He wrote it. It was there. He said it was great. He had all this stuff lined up. And then the House of Mouse, fucking Disney, comes in and takes over Fox and said, oh, no, that you're working on, fuck off. You're not doing that. And he said he was like just crushed. So he almost had this passion project. He had gotten the green light for this passion project, and then it got kiboshed when Disney came in and said, no, that's not our thing. But I mean, it had a silver lining, I guess, because they came up and apparently he either pitched it to him or they called him up and said, hey, remember that Alien Nation thing you were working on? What do you think? Maybe work on it again, but instead do a show. So he got the okay to turn his Alien Nation script into a 10-episode series, which I assume will be on Disney Plus. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know if this, because it makes me wonder because I wonder what other stipulations Disney put on this, because it is Disney. And Alien Nation isn't like, I mean, I remember Alien Nation. I remember really liking Alien Nation. I remember it being a neat movie. I haven't seen it in years. I didn't ever really watch the show from the 90s, but I remember the movie and thinking it was pretty cool. And I could see it working, but I also remember Alien Nation being very R-rated. And Alien Nation was pretty fucking hardcore, man. Like, I think, like, if I remember correctly, Saltwater, which they're in LA, so they're surrounded by it, but saltwater is like acid to the aliens, and they take a bunch of them out there and they melt like that guy in the end of fucking RoboCop a lot of the times. It's really graphic. Lots of people getting shot and just really old school 80s over-the-top gore. There's a lot of that in that movie. So I do wonder if this guy's an Alien Nation fan. I would imagine he's probably interested in staying with that spirit, keeping with that spirit of the original. I just don't see that at Disney. I'm not saying that Disney can't have those kind of movies. They have like TriStar Sony. They have like Buena Vista and stuff like that. They have their offshoot studios that they usually put their harder core stuff under. But I don't know. They might. Were they going to put that on Disney Plus? I don't know. It doesn't seem like a fit. You turn on Disney Plus and you got like The Fox and the Hound and Frozen and fucking rated R Alien Nation. I don't know if it's a fit. I do wonder what they'll do with that. If they create this show that's created within Disney, but it doesn't really have a place on Disney Plus, where do they put it? So I guess we'll find out. It's got the green light. Apparently it's going ahead. And I'm more afraid though that instead of it being that hardcore R-rated, it's going to be nerfed. They're going to like tone it way down. And I mean, I'm not saying a good story is a good story regardless of rating. But I don't know, that was some of the stuff I remember about that movie as being kind of hardcore. So we'll see, I guess. It's not out. Does not, as of yet, have a release date or anything like that. I would imagine if they're this far along where they're announcing it, probably looking at like a early next year or late this year, possibly. But yeah, we'll see. It looks like this guy really, I mean, in hearing him talk about it, Nichols seems like he really is into Alien Nation. If you haven't seen Alien Nation, I recommend checking it out. I don't know where, since, the whole Fox thing, Fox did own it. I don't know where you would end up watching it or streaming it, but check it out if you can find it somewhere. It's a neat little movie. From what I remember, once again, it's been a long time since I saw it, so if you check it out and you're like, that was corny as fuck, why did you recommend that? It's like I said, from what I remember, it is. Not the show. I never watched the show, so I can't validate that, but the movie was pretty cool from what I remember. I think they get drunk on milk too or something like that. I can't remember. I think they're like slaves or something, and they crash land. It's like an alien ship full of slaves, and they crash landed, and it's like hundreds of thousands of them, or maybe thousands of them, I don't know, and they integrate into into like a human civilization or something like that. And there's of course some biases and some I guess racism or whatever you would call it. They're looked down upon and stuff like that. So I guess it could be, maybe that's what it could be topical for nowadays, or maybe we don't need more of that. I don't know. But need it or not, we're fucking getting it. So I would imagine probably the end of this year, beginning of next year, we will be seeing something about Alien Nation, and I'll be there to check it out because I do have fond memories of the old one. How about you guys? Let's see. Alvin said, yep, I'm assuming when I asked about Alien Nation, that's what he's talking about. Love saltwater Russian roulette. Saltwater Russian roulette. I don't remember that part. Short said she remembers that. It was good. Craig C. What's up, Craig C? This is the first time I recall seeing your name. How you doing? Welcome. Hello, I watched Psycho Gorman because of your vid, and it was a lot of fun. Oh, yeah, that's awesome, man. I'm glad you liked it. It was a fun-ass movie. Short said, I liked Alien Nation, the series. I don't remember. I remember the guy, like the main guy who took James Caan's place. He had like that long 90s hair with like a leather jacket. Was it like on Sci-Fi or something like that? I don't know. I remember seeing the guy. I remember seeing, watching the show, but seeing it like advertised on TV and stuff like that. I just never watched it. Probably because I knew that it wasn't gory, and I would have been in the 90s. I would have been a teenager, so like when I knew that, oh, this is on TV, it's not going to be hardcore gory like the movie. Fuck it. That's how I was. They do. It doesn't do a body. Oh, milk. Yeah, they get drunk on milk. Are pregnant women considered drug dealers then? Huh? Oh, I get what you're saying, Craig. See, with the yeah, the milk. Yeah, that's not I don't know. Yeah, that's a good point. That would be a neat little point. If this show goes like super hardcore, I would want to see like a scene where they go to like a crack house for these aliens. Not crack though, but like milk house, and it's got like women sitting there and they're just being fed off of these adult aliens. I think that'd be pretty funny. Maybe that's just me looking for an excuse to see boobies, though. They had 3 genders. I don't remember that. I remember the males had the babies, I think. If I remember correctly. I think the males had the babies and the women did not. I remember right about Alien Nation. All right. If you like So Bad They're Good movies, Ryan's Babe was hilarious to me. Ryan's Babe. I've not heard of Ryan's Babe, but I'll check it out. All right, so yeah, Alien Nation. Any of you guys, seems like a few of you at least remember Alien Nation. Those of you that don't, check it out. It's worth it. Speaking of reboots, that seems to be kind of a reboots and remakes. That seems to be a trend this week in the news. Not a big story, but a little something. I didn't even realize it was this far along, but Resident Evil, the movie reboot. They're done making it. It's made. They've already shot it, and it's wrapped. It wrapped this week, and this is the final set photo they had right here of this old school TV and their clapboard. Titled just Resident Evil. It is supposed to apparently, I was reading up on it. I knew that they were going to make a Resident Evil, like they were redoing it. They were rebooting the franchise without Paul W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovovich and all that, because they ended last one, the final chapter. I knew they were going to, but I didn't know they had already fucking made it. And apparently it was a big budget. It's a big budget reboot. I mean, this is not like a cheap movie. This is a big budget movie with Sony Pictures behind it, just like the other ones have been. And they filmed it. They started filming in November, and they just finished this week. So that's like really fast. Big budget, like that's really fast in like regular time. But during the pandemic, holy crap, they kicked ass. Fucking movie. This may possibly, I mean, it's supposed to come out. It was I think it got pushed out just a bit, but it's coming out this year. Like at some point around the end of this year, probably, if I had to guess. So maybe it says on here. It does not. But it's coming out this year. It is coming out in 2021. It's directed by Johannes Roberts. Oh, the guy who made, or the person who made 47 Meters Down. I like that movie. First one. The second one was fucking terrible. I think that was different people all around though. But yeah, that was a good movie. That was a fun movie. So who knows what we're gonna get. It's supposed to fall much more in line with the original movie, or the original games. It takes place in the 90s. That's kind of why we got this old school TV right here. Even though TV, I mean, that looks like a TV from the 80s, but I guess you'd be more likely to see a TV like this in the 90s than like nowadays. But it's apparently going back to the 90s for some reason, and it's trying to go back to the roots of the games. Like there's a silhouette of one of the zombie. This is really all we've seen of the movie. When I go to look for pictures, none of it. There's nothing from the new one, nothing at all. There's some actors. It shows some of the actors and stuff, but not in costume or anything like that. So, holy shit, they made that movie really fucking fast. Hopefully that's a good sign. Hopefully that just shows he's a really efficient director. who just on his shit. I don't know. We'll see. But I mean, I think one of the things in seeing that, this is more or less a non-story if it weren't the fact that I didn't even know they were fucking shooting this right now. And I mean, it's already done. But the fucking Batman. What the hell? They've been shooting that movie for like a fucking year, blaming like COVID or the pandemic is why they can't do it. These fuckers just came in dead in the middle of the shit and made a whole entire fucking movie, and they're done. I mean, the movie's not done. Obviously, they have all their the principal photography is done. They've shot the vast majority of the movie. They'll probably have some like pickup shots and things like that, and of course all the post production and special effects. But I mean, the going out there physically shooting the movie parts, except for some pickups or something they may do, is done. I mean, the Batman is still shooting. They are not done with that movie yet. What the fuck? Figure that shit out. What the hell? Clearly, these people know how to. It is possible to make a movie during these times, unless we see this movie and it's just like clear that it was made during the pandemic. I am curious to see this because this might actually end up being one of the first big studio flicks that we get, because it seems like this movie's going to come out on time this year. This might be one of the first big studio flicks we get that was made wholly in the pandemic and releases, because everything else is either getting pushed out beyond then or it wasn't made then, like it wasn't shot during the pandemic. It was shot like prior to March of 2020. Or a lot of the things just can't fucking finish their movies, like the Batman. They just can't fucking finish it, or they're just not shooting things. Like they're shooting the Mission Impossible movie right now, obviously, because we saw that shit with Tom Cruise, but it's like taking them forever to do it. But apparently this guy's on his shit. He knows what he's doing. So if nothing else, he is an efficient director. Hopefully, efficient storyteller. We'll find out. I'm assuming, if I had to guess, I could probably look somewhere. I thought it had the date in here, but I'm assuming that it'll probably be around the end of... Oh, wait, here it is. Yeah, Resident Evil Reboot is currently arrived on September 9th, 2021. Holy crap. Yeah, man, that'll be here in no time at all. I mean, that leaves them... Hell, what, 9 months? 9 months to put the finishing touches on this shit. So, we'll see. But yeah, Resident Evil, I'm a fan. I recognize their issues and their shortcomings, but I am a fan. It's like guilty pleasure of the original Resident Evil movies, the Paul W.S. Anderson ones. He didn't make them all. He was involved, at least on the producing side of all of them, but he didn't write and direct all of them. I think he wrote all of them, but he didn't direct all of them. Either way, I'm a fan of those movies. I know that they're schlocky, and they're not great movies, but some of them are. And so I'm looking forward to see what this one's going to do, what it's going to change, or if it's going to go back to grassroots. We'll see. We got any Resident Evil fans out here or in the chat here? Let's see. Thank goodness they got... Greg C. said, thank goodness they got Paul Anderson away from that property. I mean, yeah, yes and no. I mean, they weren't terrible. They're guilty pleasures. They're not great movies. They're there to just be ridiculous and have fun. And I mean, the first one's really not that bad as far as like just a kind of a brainless action movie. It's a good time. The second one's fucking terrible. I hate that. He didn't make that one. He left the project. I think he wrote it, but he didn't really have a lot to do with the making of it. And the third one, he didn't make that one either. And I kind of I remember enjoying the third one until I watched it subsequently when I reviewed it again for my video game movie review series. It wasn't as good as I remember it being, but it wasn't terrible. The fourth one was lacking from what I remember. I think the last one was the one that the last one that I reviewed, the second to last movie that in the series that I reviewed, Retribution, I think it is. It was the one that besides part 2, I have fond memories of. I just remember it being kind of but this time I haven't watched it since I saw it when it first came out, and I watched it here recently to review it for my series, and I actually had a good time with it. I mean, it was dumb fun. It didn't make a ton of sense. It was super campy and cheesy, but it was fun. I ain't gonna lie. It was a good time. It was entertaining. I'll say that. But yeah, from what I remember, my thoughts on the last one, which I'm reviewing it next week, by the way. Just kind of it worked out that way. I like the last one, the final chapter. From what I remember, I'm about to watch that over the course of the next couple of days so I can review it next Wednesday, but I had very strong negative feelings about that one, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, it was time for Anderson to move on and make something else like Death Race or what was the Event Horizon. Those were really good movies he did. Or Shopping. That was his first movie. That's a really cool movie. For an independent movie, that movie was awesome. Let's see. What else you guys saying over here? I loved Event Horizon. I don't know what he was thinking when these Resident Evil movies. First one was good. Yeah, see? First one was good. Second one was shit. I hated the second one. And all the other ones are really just kind of a roller coaster as to whether they're entertaining or not. I'm not going to say any of them are good, but they're entertaining. With movies this bad, you don't need eyes to see. All right. Talk about the Resident Evil movies. See, I always catch shit for the Resident Evil movies because they are my guilty pleasure. I fully recognize they're not good movies, but they are my guilty pleasure. Anything is better than the latest Resident Evil movie. Now, I will agree with you there, Greg. From what I've not seen it since, I went in theaters and saw it when it came out in, I think, 2017 or 18. Maybe it was 16. I think it may have been 2016. I don't remember. The final chapter, I remember hating that fucking movie. Like, and I think a big part, the way it was shot. I mean, I remember fucking hating the way that movie was shot. It was, you couldn't even tell what was going on from what I remember. Who knows? Maybe I'll watch it. Like I said, I'm watching it this week. Maybe I'll that happens sometimes. I have really bad memories of movies, and then I come back to them and I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't that bad. I doubt it, though. I remember really disliking that movie. I'm excited about Dune. Denis Villeneuve is a great director. Yes, Denis Villeneuve is a great director, and I'm a huge fan of Dune. I actually reviewed the original Dune, had a fairly lengthy review of it this past summer, I think it was, in preparation for the new Dune. Got fucking pushed back, but I am looking forward to Dune as well. I've been a huge Dune fan. I read the books. I read 2 or 3 of the books. It's been a while. And the old school movie, the David Lynch movie, had its issues, but I grew up with it, and it has a place in my heart. But yeah, I was really looking forward to Dune because Villeneuve is a great director. And Short and Sweet agrees. Okay. He's so underrated. I don't think he's underrated, though, Greg. I think pretty much everybody... I don't think he gets the commercial... I don't think he gets the commercial attention that he deserves. But all the movies he's made, I think, have, like, critically, and everybody who's seen him has totally said, yes, this is great. It's fantastic. I mean, has he made a bad movie? He made Blade Runner 2049, and that's all. I mean... If he never made another movie again, I'd be happy. I love that movie. And I'm not even the biggest OG Blade Runner fan. That was all right. I thought it was more a visual spectacle than anything. Blade Runner 2049 was fucking amazing. I love that fucking movie. It is beautiful to look at. The story's awesome. The sound. That movie is just amazing. Love it. Anyway, I'm going to stop gushing about that. Okay, we got to get moving on. I'm already 45 minutes into this shit, and we got a couple more things to get into. Actually, no, I lied. I got one more news item I want to jump into, and we're going to switch over, even though this has been kind of a video game, movie heavy week as far as the stuff I'm going over with the Resident Evil and the Tomb Raider. And I think we even touched on Uncharted there. But in the world of movies, yeah, there's always something else going on, but that was the stuff I was interested in. I wanted to talk about. There's one more news story, but we're going to transition over to video games for just a minute. And that is going to be, we're going to talk about Microsoft for a minute. Just real quick, I know not all of you are gamers, but even if you're not a gamer, I think this isn't really so much about a game. This is about a decision that I think anybody can appreciate. Those of you that follow me will know that I'm a fan of Xbox as far as the I play on PC. I don't play games nearly as much as I do. I mean, I play them every Wednesday here, but I don't play games nearly as much as I used to, especially with my YouTube time. But when I do, and it comes to consoles, I'm an Xbox fan. I don't dislike PlayStation or anything like that. I don't have one. I've had them in the past. I've just always gravitated towards the Xbox and their ecosystem and the games that they release. That's not to say that I don't think there's some stuff on the PlayStation I'm like, well, that looks pretty cool. I'd like to play that, some of their exclusives. But as far as like most of the games I want to play are on this platform. And I just like the platform. I enjoy their products. I'm an old school fanboy. Nowadays, fanboy has a very negative connotation attached to it. Fanboy is just these people that have this toxicity about them that just will like argue you down and like hate you. It's almost like politics. Console wars have become like politics now. There is no in between. It's like this side hates this side, everybody hates everybody. I'm not that guy. I'm a fanboy in the sense that yes, I do enjoy the Xbox over the other consoles, but I mean I have a Switch. I don't have a PlayStation, but I don't have anything against the PlayStation. I just don't have a reason to buy one right now. And hey, there's great PlayStation. There's great games on Xbox. I think there's great games on all of it. It's just my platform of choice. And one of the things that really has always made the Xbox, since 2002 at least, even more enticing over the competition is their online service, Xbox Live. They pioneered a lot of stuff with Xbox Live. Xbox Live was the first one, and we're not talking about PC here. It was the first console, and really just the first overall to have a unified, like, online infrastructure that everything falls onto. You're not playing individual games that have their own individual online worlds. Everything falls into the games are now taking place in this one unified playground called Xbox Live. All your friends are there. Your everything, your friends, your games, everything is connected to Xbox Live. And that worked great for them. You had voice chat, you had all these things, which voice chat, could be great, could be really fucking annoying depending on what you're playing, who you're playing with. But overall, it was a pioneer. I mean, Xbox Live did a lot of stuff that we take for granted now that all the other manufacturers, with the exception of Nintendo, because they're like so far behind on the online space. But you know what I mean? They pioneered a lot of stuff. And they charged for it. I think they've raised the price of Xbox Live one time since it came out in 2002. I was a beta tester for Xbox Live. I had it before it went live in 2001. That's why if you look at my gamer tag, it's a year older than some of the oldest ones on there. But I've always been a fan of it. So, I've always been a fan of Microsoft. However, when you do something fucking stupid, I'm going to call you on it. And Microsoft, as much as I love you, you did something fucking stupid. But you did something right after that. So Microsoft, their Xbox Live pricing has been, like I said, pretty much the same since, I think somewhere around in the 360 era, they upped it by a little bit, which makes sense. They're offering a service, and there's lots of stuff that they were adding to it then. They haven't really added anything. I mean, it's still a great service, but they haven't really added anything extra to it, like really to like add any extra value. I've been okay with paying what I've paid for Xbox Live since I've been on there. For I don't know the breakdown of like however much it is, like if you do monthly, 3 months, 6 months, a year. A year has always been, well, since they went up like 10, 12 years ago, it's been $69. It's the price of a game. You get $69. You get two or three free games a month, all that. They recently released not recently, I guess in the past 2 years, released Xbox Game Pass, which is a cool service. It's kind of like the Netflix for games. You're not streaming though. You actually download the games, and you play them all you want for. I think it's overall you get Ultimate Game Pass. You get that. You get Xbox Live, you get all their services into one. You get like EA Origin, all this stuff. It's a great value. But you get all that for like $14 or $15 a month. It is a fantastic value if you play those games, if you like that stuff, if that's what you do. And I think most people, it's a great value for everybody. However, they took this Xbox Live has not changed, but the people that didn't want Game Pass, they recently, the other day, just all of a sudden out of nowhere said, oh, by the way, it's been $69 for all this time. We're raising the price. I don't think that was the problem. I don't think that's the part that people had a problem with. If they had come out and said, hey, it's going to be $79, something like that. Okay, sure, fine. No, it's gonna be $120 fucking a year now. What? People were like, what the fuck? Now, in their defense, if you were already a subscriber, you would stay at the price you had been at. But any new subscribers were now going to have to come in and pay $120 fucking for this service, which by comparison, Sony has their PlayStation Network or whatever, PSN, is their version of Xbox Live. It's not as, my understanding and what I've seen, it's not as streamlined and as good as Xbox Live. But I mean, it's pretty much the same. I mean, it's not terrible or anything. It hasn't been around quite as long, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not bashing it. It charges $69. The prices were the same. And believe me, Sony's not going to bring that up to $120. I mean, I guess if everybody went with the $120 Xbox Live thing, it would have, but nobody did. Everybody was like, what the fuck? This was clearly a way for them to push people into Game Pass, because they've been pushing Game Pass fucking hard. They want everybody subscribed to Game Pass, because if you subscribe to Game Pass, you're also a part of Gold. Xbox Live Gold. And they wanted everybody on Game Pass. That's their shit. They're doing big things with Game Pass. I think Game Pass is a great value. Absolutely. All their first-party games come out day one on there. You don't have to pay for anything. Like, they got this new game coming out this week, a big exclusive for the platform. Well, an exclusive for the platform. Looks really cool, called The Medium. It's a first-party published game, so I don't even have to pay for it. I've already downloaded the damn game. It comes out on Tuesday. Wait. Today. Okay, it's out. It just came out today. I need to go play that. But I didn't even have to pay for it. I downloaded it the other night in advance, and I just get it because I'm a subscriber to Game Pass. It is a great value, but people don't want to be forced into something that they don't necessarily want. And that's what they were trying to do. They were trying to jack up the price of Xbox Live Gold so much that people would just say, well, for a few extra dollars, I'll just do Game Pass. And that pissed off a lot of people. What the fuck were you thinking? What world was this a good idea? I have to think that because Microsoft has been so customer focused they've been doing all the right shit for like some years now. They had a whole last generation, they fucked up a lot of stuff. But the past few generations or the past few years since Phil Spencer took over and really got things to rolling, they've been very customer friendly. They've been just doing great things for the customer. And all of that's like really starting to come to a head. We're about to hopefully start getting all these really cool games and stuff like that. And, they just do they give a lot of value to their console through these things that they do. But this was not. This was like a fucking slap in the face. And people didn't like it. People went off about it. And I got to think, did like Phil Spencer and them know it? I mean, he's got to know about it. He's like the guy. He's the head of Xbox. How did he not know that they were just going to take their online service and double it? Now, to be fair, I don't know if they actually doubled it, because if you went month to month, it wasn't double. It went up. Each tier did go up. I don't have it in front of me. But, like, the only one that was doubled was the yearly one. If you did it month to month, it's still... I think it would end up costing you more than $120 in the long run. But they didn't double the month-to-month price. It was a really weird pricing thing. But albeit said, it's $120 for a fucking year, and that's twice as much. So yeah, they did that, and within, I think it was something like 12 or 18 hours, something like that, there was such a negative backlash to it, they walked it back. So they actually did the right thing. They came back and they apologized. They put out an apology. I think it's on here. And pretty much said, sorry. Yeah, like right here, the official Twitter was like, today was not great. We always try to do our best for you, and today we missed the mark. We hear you, and we're reversing our Xbox Live gold pricing updates. And I mean, I'll give them that. Say what you will. I don't think all companies would do this. Most companies would change something and be like, yeah, that's what it is. Fuck off. Take it or leave it. I don't know if most other companies would make this drastic of a change, but they made a bold change. They got a bold response, and they did something bold in return. They came back and they said, okay, we're going to walk it back, which I think that's noble. But not only did they do that, people have also complained about how some free-to-play online games, which, by the way, nothing is free-to-play. It may be free-to-play, but they're going to get their money somehow. But anyway, what we call free-to-play games when it comes to the Xbox platform, you've had to be a part of Gold to play them, so effectively you've had to pay to play these games. They're removing that. They're walking that back. I don't know if it's exactly yet, but they did say we are making it where, to bring Xbox Live more in line with how we see the player at the center of the experience, we will be removing Gold requirements for free-to-play games. We're starting work on that immediately, and we'll have updates in the coming months. So apparently here soon, you will not have to have Xbox Live Gold to play free-to-play games. I assume you're still going to have to play other online games, but that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox Live Gold just goes away. I think that they're going to just cut their losses, and it goes away. Game Pass has been a really big for them and done very well. So I don't see the purpose of it anymore. Yeah, they have their games with Gold where you get, I think it's 3 free games a month. I always download them. They stagger them, so it's kind of hard to tell how many you're getting every month. You get like 2 or 3 games free. Maybe it's 3 or 4. I don't know. I get free shit from them every month. It's a crapshoot. Some months it's kind of like, okay, that's fine. And some months it's like, oh, that's pretty good. But yeah, you get free stuff from them, but I wouldn't say that's why I'm subscribed to it. Honestly, I don't know why I am, because I don't really play online games that much. And by that much, I mean like never. And you don't have to have it to be connected to the internet and have online services. So I am probably the kind of subscriber that they want on Gold, that I don't really use it for what it's needed. I mean, I get the free games every month, but I don't really use it for like online stuff, but I still subscribe to it. I should probably look into that. Anyway, I wouldn't be surprised that if by the end of the year, Xbox Live Gold is just phased out somehow, and it's just online is all free. If they did that, I think that would be a really good customer-facing kind of move for them, because then that pushes on Sony and says, hey, our service is just free. You don't have to have pay for an online service. You don't have to pay to go online and play games anymore. I think that's where they're moving. I think they want to get away from Xbox Live Gold. I think they want to keep Xbox Live. I just think they want it free. Could be totally fucking wrong, but I definitely know that they want your ass in Game Pass. And I will say from personal experience, Game Pass is a great value, especially if you have a PC and an Xbox. Ultimate is great because Ultimate is on both the PC. Oops. I just realized I was in the wrong view. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. I was looking at the wrong thing. I guess I've been in that far out one this whole time. I thought I was in this closer one so you guys could see what I was looking at. my big-ass head's been in front of all the pictures you've been looking at. Anyway, it's a great value. If you have an Xbox, especially if you have an Xbox and a PC, I strongly recommend it. You can get it pretty cheap right now. But, yeah, that does it for the news this week. I know I usually focus more on movies, and that's always going to be the case. But this was a story that I really wanted to touch on and talk about, because this is a big deal. I mean, it's been this way for a long time, and they just came out of nowhere with this insane pricing change. I don't know who the fuck thought that was a good idea. I mean, who said? And the tweet that they put out announcing it didn't even have anybody's name assigned to it. Like, typically when they release these things, they have like a name assigned to say, hey, you know, whoever writes it, it'll be like Phil from Phil Spencer or Matt Booty or whoever, and some Xbox person. This one said like the Xbox Live team. Nobody wanted to put their name on that shit. But hey, you know what? Good on them. They fucked up and they owned it. You know what? Like I tell my kids, you're gonna fuck up. When you do, don't give me shit. Don't give me fucking excuses. Just own up to it. Own it. You fucked up. Say, oop, I fucked up. No, don't say you fucked up to me. Not my kids. If you do, I'm gonna bust your ass for cussing at me. But say I screwed up. Say I screwed up and I own it. My bad. I won't do it again. And that's what they did. Good on you, Xbox. You're becoming an adult. All right. So what are you guys saying over here? Woo. Quite a few things. Sure. Greg, see, I found your channel when I watched Cosmoball and wanted to watch reviews on it. I love good foreign movies like The Wailing, Memories of Murder, and A Taxi Driver. A Taxi Driver? I've seen Taxi Driver. Is that the Luc Besson movie? from like a while back, and then they like made an American version of it too. Memories of Murder. I think I've seen that. That seems really familiar. I'm not familiar with The Wailing. I bet that's a horror movie. It sounds like a horror movie. I don't think I'm familiar with it. I watch a lot of fucking movies. I forget a lot of. Do you have any foreign movie recommendations? Oh man, yeah, I got quite a few. I do review when I get them. I just did a review this week of a foreign horror movie called The Funeral Home. It's a Spanish language film. That was really good. If you're into horror, creepy ass movies, if you're into like creepy movies, it's really good. It's a really good not low budget. I mean, just regular budget, I guess. It's also known as The Undertaker's Home, I think. But yeah, it was a really good, just small little, super creepy. Had great atmosphere. Very much a possession, like house possession, kind of like an Insidious type of thing, like a monster in the house or a spirit in the house kind of movie. That was good. There's another this year. There's another Russian movie called Coma, like Coma. That was really good. Check that out. That's a really good Russian language film, and there's actually the dubs are really hit or miss, and I'm not like a subtitles versus dub snob or anything. I don't mind either way, but I of course prefer a good dub, but dubs typically aren't as good as the original language. The dub for Coma is done really well. There were people that commented in my comment section for it and said, holy crap, I didn't even realize it was dubbed in English. We thought they were speaking English until I watched your review. So it's a really, that seems like a bit of a stretch. There are a few parts where it doesn't quite line up, but it's a really, really, really good dub. It doesn't seem corny. All the voices match the people and stuff like that. But yeah, Coma, that was a really fun movie. Check out the trailer for it. It's got like a Doctor Strange kind of mind world twisting thing. It's really cool. Recommendations: South Korean movies are my jam, but Russian movies are good, and Japanese movies too. Yeah, Alvin said Old Boy. The original Old Boy is really good, but I bet if you're into South Korean movies, you've already seen that one. I actually am watching or reviewing. It's not like your traditional Korean flick, but a movie that came from the South Korean or the Korean American Society. I've already shot it at. I think I'm releasing it Friday. It's not out yet. It's called Happy Cleaners. It's more of a drama. Not more of. It is a drama, but it's Korean. But it takes place in America, but a lot of it's subtitled. It's partly spoken in English, partly spoken in Korean. That was a really good movie. Like there was some grab your tissues when you watch that one. That was a really good foreign. Well, I guess is it foreign? It's got foreign people in it, made by foreign people, but it's shot here in the States. It's actually the directors. One is Korean, one's American. The American one may be like Korean American. I'm not sure, but like I said, it comes from the Korean American Society. Really good movie. Off the top of my head, Russian movies are really crazy. Like some of those are just like, some of them have like great ideas, but their executions, they have like really weird sensibilities in some of their action movies and stuff over there. There's a Russian movie series called, I think it's called Night Watch. Pretty sure it's called Night Watch. Or it's The Night Watch. It's Russian. Look it up. There's 3 of them. That was an interesting, I think it's 3 of them. It's 2 or 3 of them. I think it's 3. That was a cool series. Japanese movies, Audition. Yeah, Audition is one of the most well-rounded Japanese horror, I guess, movies around. I have a love-hate relationship with Japanese horror movies because I think a lot of them have great ideas and they start out great and they have really creepy atmosphere and stuff like that. But a lot of the times, like halfway through the movie, they'll lose their way and it'll just kind of get really fucking out there. Not all of them, but they do sometimes they go too far or lose their way, or like they had like a really cool idea, but they don't know how to end it. And they lose their way. Audition was not like that. I thought it was. Like halfway through the movie, the stuff that happens in that movie, you're like, oh, here we go. Here it's going off the fucking rails. But then they bring it all right back, and that was great. Of course, shit. It's not Japanese, I don't think. Is it Japanese? It's Asian. It's Asian horror or Battle Royale. That's a good one. That's a classic. Not Battle Royale 2. I've got both of those. I need to review that. But yeah, those are some. Just food for thought. Look through my videos. If you do look at my videos, since you are fairly new to the channel, I don't know what it is. There's a glitch on my channel, which if you go to my videos tab, it doesn't show all my videos. It'll only go back about 8 or 9 months. If you hit filter on there and you filter from oldest to newest, it'll show all my videos. I don't know why. Well, I say that. Some people have told me that it doesn't do that when they look, and some people have told me it does. So, you know, if you go... I've been on the platform making reviews regularly for 2 years and change at this point. And, yeah. Not quite 2.5 years at this point. So, if it only says 8 months, that's your there's more. Or check out my, what do they call it? Playlists. I put everything in my playlists. Those show everything. But Alvin said, "Old Boy, yeah, Lady Vengeance. I think I've seen that. I know I've heard talk about it. Old Boy is a classic. I really like that one as well. What'd you think of the American version? I haven't watched the trilogy of Old Boy. There's a trilogy? Is it a trilogy? Wait. I don't. Is it a trilogy or is there just like that guy? What's his name? The guy who made that boom. He made a trilogy of films. I don't think they were all related, but they were kind of like took place in the same world, but none of the movies are related. Is it like that kind of trilogy? Or is there actually like an Old Boy trilogy? The Wig. Never heard of The Wig. Tale of Two Sisters. I've seen that one. I can't remember much about it. I remember being really creepy. All really good. I saw The Devil. Train to Busan. Yeah, Train to Busan was good. Peninsula Train to Busan 2 was okay. I bet the reveal of that was much better back in the day. Now it's, yep. Oh, yeah. Popular South Korean movies I've seen. Saw The Devil was great, too. I forgot to mention them. They made American versions of Tale of Two Sisters called Uninvited. Oh, is that what that was? I remember that movie. I didn't see it, but I remember that Uninvited movie. I didn't know it was a remake of A Tale of Two Sisters. Americans seem to mess up all the imports of movies. Not all of them. The Ring. The American Ring was better than the Japanese Ring. Japanese Ring was fine. Ringo, whatever, however you pronounce it. It was fine. It was good, but the first one, not the second one. Second Ring, American Ring was terrible. But the first Ring by Gore Verbinski. God, I can't speak. Gore Verbinski. The first Ring with Naomi Watts was great. That was really good. But yeah, you're right. A lot of the times whenever remakes come along, they're in it just to make money. I feel like they were actually trying to they had a love for the story when they made that one. I love Martyrs. Yeah, they messed it up. They messed it up when ported to America. Did they make an American? They did make an American Martyrs, didn't they? Oh God, never watched American Martyrs. It's so bad. I haven't seen it. I don't think. It's disappointing. It really is. Okay. Got some Asian horror fans here. Whoa, now I got it years ago on a Netflix disc. Man, I haven't gotten a disc from Netflix in years. Night Watch and Day. Yeah, Night Watch and Day Watch. Those are the ones. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What was it? 2 of them? It's just 2 movies, isn't it? It's not 3, but they're really fucking long. I remember that. Maybe I just thought it was 3 movies because those movies are so fucking long. The Guardians. Yeah, I wanted to be better. Yeah, The Guardians was all right. That fucking man bear thing. Naked Blood. I haven't seen that. I've seen Naked Lunch with Peter Weller. I just watched Rent-A-Pal and loved it. It was all in his head, right? I think so. That was what I was talking about. I think I mentioned that in my review of that movie. It's like, it might be. I'm pretty sure it is, but you could make a compelling argument that it wasn't. Short and Sweet, who's in here, you were talking to her a minute ago, she actually recommended that movie to me. The Ring, Naomi Watts was great. Quit talking out your ass. Oh, I just saw the trailer for The Wig. It's like a Chinese version of Bad Hair. All right, so cool. So yeah, that's that'll do it for the news this week. I got a couple of trailers I want to look at before we get out of here, and then I am probably going to cut it off because we're already going. I'm going a little long, but I had all these times when I broke off and talked to you guys, so I can cut all that out in the actual one that I put online later. So this came out. This trailer came out, and everybody was doing trailer reactions to it. I don't typically do trailer reactions. I did one for like Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker. That worked out great. And Dune. I did one for Star Wars just because I'm a big Star Wars fan. I did one for Dune because I was actually testing out my streaming stuff. So I actually streamed it, the new stream thing for YouTube. And I went ahead and tested it out, and Dune was coming out. I'm a big Dune fan. I don't know. I don't feel like people really want to watch me watch a trailer and be like, because I mean, really, I don't talk while I watch stuff usually. So, I mean, I'll try and like comment here or there, but typically if you just watched me like play a game normally or watch a movie, I'm like, that doesn't look like a good time. But we're going to take a look at these two trailers right here because both of them came out this week and they are kind of a big deal. I have not watched them. Neither of these. I've been wanting to watch this one because it came out Sunday, but I said, no, I want to watch that on the podcast. So this will actually be the first time I've watched this trailer. When it comes to Godzilla, I really liked the 2014 Godzilla. And I thought that King of the Monsters was a bit disappointing. I thought it had, it looked great, had lots of great monsters and all that, but overall I was a bit disappointed in King of the Monsters. Because it just, I don't know, the trailer was fucking awesome. I was so hyped for that movie. Maybe I hyped it up too much, and when I saw it, that's why I was disappointed. Maybe if I went back, it wouldn't be. It wasn't terrible, but it was just, I don't know. It seemed a little hollow. Anywho, let's get going. Here's Godzilla versus King Kong. I like both these properties. I liked Kong Skull Island, so let's check this out. Let's see what it's all about. This will be my trailer reaction to Godzilla versus Kong. Oh shit. How about I put my headphones on first so I can hear it. All right. Guess I'll put both of them in for the full effect. Now I'll start talking really loud and my wife will come down here and throw something at me. Okie dokie. Shit. My other headset didn't. Oh, there it goes. My other earbud didn't come on. All right. Here we go. Godzilla. Hopefully. I bet I'll get a copyright strike for this. Oh, well, fuck it. Godzilla versus Kong.
This is our only chance.
I think that was stuff from the first movie.
We have to.
Oh, there's Kong. Are they going to show how they caught him? Because the last movie we saw him in was in the 60s or 70s.
Kong. The world needs him to stop what's coming.
What's coming?
And this child.
Is Millie Bobby
She's the
Brown in
one
this?
he'll communicate with.
I knew that they had a bond. She had nowhere to go, so I made a promise.
I have no idea who these characters are. They're all new.
And I think that in some ways, Kong did the same.
So Godzilla's got a little girl, Millie Bobby Brown. Is Kong gonna have a little girl now? Oh, and there's Godzilla. I thought Godzilla was on our side, or we were on his side, or whatever. Why was shooting him?
It's Godzilla.
It's Godzilla! But Godzilla's like a whole lot bigger than Kong, isn't he? That's what I like about King Kong. He's like a fucking brawler, man. Godzilla's gonna like shoot you with laser breath and shit like that. King Kong will, like,
These are dangerous times.
he's just fucking run in there, Mike Tyson, whoop your ass brawler. Hey, that's that guy from the last Godzilla movie. Oh, she is in it, Millie Bobby Brown.
The myths are real.
So like her,
There was a
so
war.
she's Godzilla's little girl, and this other new girl is, oh, more monsters.
They're the last one standing.
I keep reaching for greatness because I'm built from it.
So why are they fighting? I thought, because they're both kind of goodish.
Nobody gon' stop me.
Kong bows to no one.
That's right, bitch. Oh, that looks cool. Bitch! That looked cool. That did look cool. So yeah, that was pretty cool. I want to see that. I'm excited to see that. It's coming out like real soon too. I think in March or something. It's coming out in the next couple of months. So I am kind of excited to see that. But I'm cautiously optimistic because the first, what was it? The last Godzilla movie. What was it called? King of the Monsters. Yeah, I was just talking about it. King of the Monsters like trailer got me super hyped, and I really liked 2014's Godzilla. So when I saw, that trailer for the last one, it was awesome. I was super hyped for it, but I was kind of disappointed in that one. I mean, it was okay, but it just, I don't know, it was missing something. It wasn't as exciting as I wanted it to be, and the human characters, per usual, were just kind of like, what the fuck are they doing here? You're supposed to be focusing on the monsters. I understand we got to have the human characters to kind of push story and stuff along, but it really just, I don't know. I was kind of disappointed in King of the Monsters. I liked Kong Skull Island. I've always liked King Kong as a character. He seems like, just kind of like that guy who wants to be left the fuck alone on his island to just do his thing. But then, like, if you come over and just fuck with him too much, he's like, God damn it. And he's going to come over there and, like, whoop your ass. That's King Kong. He's like, he wouldn't have gone to New York in the original lore or wherever they're taking him here and, like, wreck shit if they just left him the fuck alone. He's like, I just want to be left the fuck alone on my island. You fuckers got to come and just be fucking with shit too much. So, but that looked cool. It's it's got the look. It looks like it could be really exciting and fun. It's got the returning characters from the last movie, love them or hate them. The dad character, I had issues with him. I saw him for a second, Millie Bobby Brown's dad in the movie. Can't remember his name, but he was kind of sort of the main character in King of the Monsters. He just didn't really. He was like he would walk into a room and just like knew everything. He'd walk in a room with like the smartest people in the world, and just all of a sudden, he knew nobody could tell him anything. They've been trying to figure out like this issue like for like the whole movie, and he just walks in and be like, this is what we do. I mean, who the fuck are you, man? He had the answer to everything. He was their scapegoat. But the whole thing with the mom, if I remember correctly, she like sacrificed herself, but that didn't really make up for the fact that she was kind of the reason that like probably hundreds of thousands, if not more, people died in that movie. So yeah. It was just kind of disappointing, but I mean, it was okay. Hopefully this one takes a little bit more of a page out of the OG 2014 Godzilla and Kong Skull Island, because I did enjoy both of those. Kong Skull Island was it was a good fun time. It wasn't like super deep, but it was fun. So hopefully it takes a page out of those books a bit more. Looking forward to it though. It looked really cool, that part where they're like fighting in the city. I do wonder why they're fighting, because they're both kind of, like I said, Kong's not bad, but he's not necessarily good. He just wants to be left the fuck alone. He's not going to, like, come, and it looks like they went to get him because they need him. Apparently Godzilla's acting bad because he was kind of good in a way, and that's kind of like what happened to Godzilla in the regular lore, but even in King of the Monsters, he kind of was the good monster. He wrecks shit, but he's not just trying to, like, kill everybody for no reason at all. So I do wonder what's going on with him. Why is he wrecking shit? Assuming he is, because that's why they went and got Kong, it looks like. I don't know. We'll find out. in a few months. I'll definitely be watching that when it comes out and giving it a review. So yeah, there it was. Godzilla. Which is it? Godzilla versus Kong or Kong? Yeah, Godzilla versus Kong. Right. What are you guys saying over here about it? Let's see. I just saw the. Should I try bad hair then? Godzilla trailer was great, but Godzilla got his butt handed to him. Was this Japanese approved? I think I remember the other ones were. They were approved by Toho. I think Toho's the ones who make it. You may find a good one. I wasn't feeling the movie Bad Hair, but a lot of people did like it though. I haven't seen Bad Hair, so I can't really speak. Is it 2020? Is what 2020? Bad Hair. Oh, you guys are still talking about this Bad Hair movie. I don't know what that is. I think it's 2019. Yeah, 11. Millie Bobby Brown, 11 from Stranger Things. This is a theory that is not Godzilla, that is Mecha. I heard that. I heard somebody talking about that. I was watching another, not a react, just I think it was Mr. H Reviews or something like that. Somebody was talking about the trailer. I hadn't seen it yet, but they were talking about they think Mechazilla's in it or Mechagodzilla's in it or something like that. Maybe he's got like some type of like fleshy stuff. I don't know. Maybe they're like doing a whole Pacific Rim thing, like we made Mechagodzilla or somebody did. Well, because there's like Monarch. Was it who was the terrorist organization in fucking King of the Monsters? Because they actually got away because it had Charles Dance's character who was kind of like in charge of that terrorist organization. I can't remember what happened in the end. But I remember it ended on like it had a stinger concerning them, and they were talking about, maybe it was Kong or something like that. I can't remember. The end of King of the Monsters showed something, and that terrorist organization was still a thing. Maybe they made a Mechagodzilla. Possible. I hope when the action starts, they show it on TV, then turn off the TV right before it happens. Low, like in the movie. I think they did that with the first movie. I think in the first movie it did that. It like showed people watching what was happening on the TV, and then like something happened and it went away. It wasn't until like the end. The first movie was definitely a slower movie, and people wanted more monster action in it, but that's like not the tone they were going for. But I could see that. I mean, I could have gone for some more monster action in the first one. But then in the second one, that's all we got was monster on monster action with some like dumbass human subplots. It was just like, I don't know, strike a balance somewhere in the fucking middle. I thought Kong Skull Island did a good job of striking that balance of being kind of like monster fun action and having enough story and interesting stuff to keep you invested. So hopefully they go that route. I'm guessing Godzilla is a man kind of movie. Being a woman, I'll pass. You never know, short and sweet. It's Godzilla. You might love it. Women can like Godzilla. Just think of him as a big pet that would protect you from helicopters. Yeah, there you go. Actually, his little Millie Bobby Brown is kind of like his. I guess she kind of. Actually, she was more like Mothra's friend in the last one, I guess. I don't know. In King Ghidorah. Godzilla bonding with a human is like me bonding with an ant. But I'll watch it gleefully. I know, right? When it showed like Kong doing his finger and the little girl was putting hers up there. I mean, if he had just kind of like just slipped a little bit and been like, oh shoot, like that, she was dead. If he was just sitting there like, yeah, I'm gonna touch him. Oh shit. Oh fuck, you're dead. Damn. I do remember when I was younger watching on Saturday Godzilla movies, like the American Godzilla or the old Toho Japanese Godzilla movies. I remember those when I was a kid, too. The American Godzilla, I used to actually really like that movie when it first came out, but watching it on repeat years later, I recognize it's not that good. Okay, so I got one more. We're going to watch one more. This came out just today. I just heard people talking about it, and I said, fuck it, we'll just watch it here on the podcast before we get out of here, because I don't really have... I did have a focus for the podcast, but things went a little bit longer, so I'm going to just talk about it here in a minute. But real quick, let's look at this other trailer for a movie called Raya and the Last Dragon. People are saying good things about it. I don't know anything about this. I haven't heard anything about it. But yeah, it's apparently an animated, a CG movie. I'm assuming a kids movie. I think it's Disney. We're gonna find out here in a second. Let's see what we got here.
All right, guys. Remember what we're looking for, and don't.
I guess it would. Shit. I guess it would help if I.
All right, guys. Remember what we're looking for, and don't trust anyone.
One more time.
All right, guys. Remember what we're looking for, and don't trust anyone.
Whoa, what?
Hey, baby. Where are your parents? Hey, who's baby? What?
It's kind of like Boo from Monsters Inc. Oh,
Really?
shit.
A con baby?
A con baby?
Impressive. We could use someone
Yeah,
like
this is
you.
a kids movie.
Let's catch you up. My name is Raya. Our lands have been at war for as long as we can remember. Our people never see eye to eye.
My daughter, I believe our people can
I like
come
that
together
look there with that
again,
whole
but someone has to take the first step.
desert thing.
Now, in order to restore
Is this
peace,
like fantasy?
we must find the last dragon.
I wish to join this fellowship of
I'm getting like an Asian feel here, but
Let's go. We'll have
is
to
it more
watch
like
our
a
backs.
fantasy?
We're not
fantasy
the only
feel, I
ones
think.
looking.
Frozen.
6 years of searching. Please let this be it. Oh, mighty Sisu!
Who said that?
We really need your help.
I'm gonna be real with you. I'm not like the best dragon. Have you ever done like a group project, but there's like that one kid who didn't pitch in as much, but still ended up with the same grade?
We're doomed.
That was kind of
You
funny.
and the dragon are coming with me.
My sword here says we're not.
Oh, she's got a sword like from fucking Soul Calibur.
The world's broken. You can't trust anyone.
Maybe it's broken because you don't trust anyone. You just have to take the first step.
It's gonna be a message.
I just shape changed.
Dragons can do that?
Look how close my butt is to my head. It's gonna make digestion so much faster.
In theaters or ordered on Disney Plus with Premier Access.
Oh,
March
Premier
5th.
Access. Oh no. Is that going to be another $30 watch like Mulan? How'd that work out for them? So yeah, Raya and what's it called? Raya and the Last Dragon. I've never even heard of that. Never even heard of that. I didn't know that was coming. So what did I think? It looked cool, I guess. I mean, it's a kids movie. I don't have a problem with kids movie. I got lots of kids, so I see them. It did say from the creators, or I don't know if it said the creators, but it said Frozen. It put Frozen out there, which I get. Frozen was huge, really popular. So of course you're gonna throw that up there. I have strong feelings about Frozen, though. Strong negative feelings. I have issues with Frozen and everything it stands for. I feel like it's pretty soulless, but you know, I'm not going to get on that. I'm not going to get on that because I'll start preaching about it. I one day I'll talk about Frozen one day, but I don't like Frozen. But anyway, it's a Disney movie. It looked very Disney, but I did like some stuff about it. It looked like they were going for like that fantasy, not full on like Chinese or Asian or whatever you know they were going for there. I'm not sure. I think probably Chinese, but it didn't look like accurate history or anything. It looked like more of a fantasy kind of world. Like they had that desert setting and everything, and they're riding around on these creatures, and of course dragon and stuff like that. I like that stuff. That stuff looked pretty cool. The dragon, of course, it was like a Disney dragon. It's kind of being goofy and kooky. I don't know. I mean, it could still be fun, but I'd like to see Disney do like one of these stories, and it can still be a family film, but maybe take it a little serious. It's like all their animated movies are that same kind of thing. You're going to have that creature that's kind of goofy, and you know, your Olaf or the dragon from Mulan, the old Mulan, and you're going to have that, or the genie, you know, that kooky crazy creature and all that, because you know the kids like that stuff, and everybody's going to throw in like new age, like current day phrases and stuff like that. And I mean, that's fine, I guess. Okay, but I feel like it's not. Try a serious, you know, a more serious tone. I don't mean serious like adult. I know it's Disney, okay? You can have a family film. They can still have humor, but maybe try something serious. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting too old for these movies now. Maybe that's all it is. But I think it's just because I'm starting to see, not starting, I've seen that for quite a while. Disney movies are almost, and this is blasphemy to some people, I know, but if you've seen one, you've seen them all. They're kind of all, they had that same basic structure. I'm not saying that this one will. Maybe it won't. But, I mean, it looked like some of the action stuff looked like it might be cool. It looked like there was some martial arts in there. It looked really nice. It looked pretty. Nothing about the story just, like, grabbed me, and I said, oh, man, I've got to see what happens there. At this point, I feel like I know exactly what's going to happen in the story. Doesn't mean it can't be entertaining, but, you know, we'll see if it's memorable, if it lasts the test of time. Who knows? At this point, I mean, as with everything else, I'll see it when it comes out and then make my judgment. So what'd you guys think of Raya and the Last Dragon? I can't even remember the name of the movie. It's good fun. Yeah, way back when it was sure it was fun. This looks fun. Okay, and it might be. A fruit ninja. Was there a fruit ninja? I didn't see that. Oh, this looks kind of funny and cute. I'll watch it. I mean, and like I said a minute ago, it could be great. It could be really funny and just really cute, and kids will love it. But I think that a lot of I think this is my problem with it, is the studios take children for granted, and they think that, oh, this is the only thing they respond to is these kind of funny, cute, kind of samey kind of movies, and they don't. I have a lot of kids. I know. Yes, do they respond to that stuff? Sure they do. Because in a lot of cases, they don't have a choice, because that's a lot of what's made for them. So they just got to kind of watch it. But they respond to other things too, and I don't necessarily mean just adult cinema. That sounded really bad. I didn't mean like adult movie, but you know, more mature cinema. And they do that too. But even like family-oriented films that don't treat them like they're just, you know, morons. Kids aren't that dumb. I mean, they're dumb about some shit, but they're not like so dumb that they can't keep up with a movie, and the movie doesn't have to have a goofy character doing something stupid and goofy every few minutes to keep their attention. Yeah, I think it might be, unlike the Mulan remake, don't defend it. I know you want to. I do not. I do not want to defend the Mulan remake. I didn't think it was that great. I didn't think it was as terrible as everybody said it was, but at the same time, I didn't have this like I didn't have this reverence for the original that a lot of people did. I didn't grow up with it. I was aware of it. I'd seen it once. I thought it was fine. And I saw this new one. It was not worth that $30 that you pay to see it. That was fucking ridiculous. And it was more or less just kind of, it was there. It happened. It was whatever. It was unnecessary. I'll say that. But I didn't think it was great. It was just kind of, Premiere Access. Yeah, that Premiere Access shit. Oh, hell no. Yeah, that Premiere Access shit is fucking stupid. That's the kind of decisions Disney makes that makes me not like that company. I found it on a free streaming movie site. Save a fortune that way. Ooh, short and sweet. I use NZB. I'll pay for it officially. Exactly, Greg. There you go. When I saw Far From Home, that's when I thought I'm too old for these movies. A European trip. Does the movie-going audience not know Mysterio was a villain? I guess not. People were like, well, I mean, I knew that. That's what yeah, you're right. Because I kind of thought maybe, I don't know. I thought that was just kind of, I mean, I know I'm a bit nerdier than your average person, I suppose. I didn't know everything there was to know about Mysterio, but I knew he was a bad guy. I knew he was a villain. I figured other people did too. And I'm not even like the biggest Spider-Man nerd. But did you like it? I was disappointed, but it was good. I was just underwhelmed a little. With Far From Home was okay. Go to get that sauce. But the new Spider-Man 3 will be so amazing. We hope so. I mean, it's got a lot going for it. I feel like they're trying to emulate that whole Into the Spider-Verse thing too much. They saw how popular that's been. And they're like, hey, yeah, let's roll with that. We'll see. Bringing all the Spider-Man. I mean, like I said, it could be really cool. But if it's nothing but fan service, it'll just be just that, just fan service. And it'll be like, oh, yeah, that's really cool to see them, but there's not much else going on here. If they got a cool story surrounding that, it'll be cool. Oh, yes, they're stealing Into the Spider-Verse plot, but I'm down. For sure. Okay, so that is... Oops. Well... So yeah, that's all the trailers for this week that I'm going to talk about. You guys have probably already seen all those. I'm late to the party on those. But real quick before we go, I was going to focus on this a bit more and talk about it. And I know some of you may have already seen this, but I did a review of a movie that just came out this week, and I just kind of wanted to put a spotlight on it. And those of you that haven't seen it, more of a spotlight than my little review. And that would be the amazing Psycho Goreman. Now, if you see this poster, now some of you would see this poster and say, oh, that's fucking amazing, I have to see that. But I think the average person sees this poster and says, oh, that belongs in the bargain bin. And you're probably right, but it doesn't. This movie is awesome. This is pure, unadulterated awesomeness. If you grew up if you remember the 90s and have any fond memories of the 90s, you'll like this movie. It's got just, it is the 90s encapsulated into an hour and a half. Like everything awesome about the 90s. And it's not, it's corny and goofy, but it's meant to be. And it has this super, super, biting ass, just sense of humor that is fucking hilarious. I have not laughed so much at a movie out loud that I was watching by myself as I did with this one in a long time. I've not laughed this much in a long time. This little girl that we have right here, oh man, what is her name in real life? Whoops, preview. This little girl right here, I cannot remember her name. Mimi is her name in the movie, but she was hilarious. The stuff that she does and says in this movie and how she responds to people is just fucking great. Psycho Goreman himself, the things that he says throughout the movie, that's the thing about this movie. Does it have a great story? I mean, no. It's got a very 90s costumed monster, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Guyver, kind of adult, more, adult themed, cheapo B-movie storyline. Or it's almost like a family film, but with tons of gore. It's, I mean, as odd as that sounds, but it's like the stuff that this guy said. That's what makes it, is the characters and the moments in the movie are what really make this thing work. It's got some of the things, pretty much everything that Psycho Goreman himself says is gold, and everything that she says is gold, and everybody around them. The dad, he's great too. He is fucking hilarious. That's really the only reason I wanted to kind of throw this one out there. I know this is one of those smaller movies that's going to kind of go under the radar, but I feel like this is going to be like a cult classic. This is going to be one of those underground classics that's going to pop up like in a few years, and all of a sudden a ton of people are going to talk about how awesome it is. I mean, this is one of the characters. Look at this thing right here. This looks like something off the fucking Power Rangers. And it did. I mean, that's exactly what it all is. It seems like characters from the Power Rangers. Like the way that they're all put together and made, like the suits, they're clearly all suits. Now they all look really good. They move well, but it all stays within that, that if anybody knows of the series called The Guyver from back in the 90s, it's from a Japanese manga, but like they made a movie with Mark Hamill in it. He wasn't the Guyver, but it's like those monsters. There's other ones like that from the 90s. Power Rangers is the one that's most well known and comes to mind. It is a lot like that, but super fucking gory. Super fucking gory. And it's fucking awesome. I mean, this is one of the most fun movies I've seen in quite some time. I mean, look at this sword. This sword he's got here. There's a scene where he makes this sword on the fly. Like he's fighting a character and he starts ripping bones out of them like they're going around fighting, and he's ripping bones and body parts off this person as he's fighting them, and he puts this sword together, and this is what he ends up with. And then they continue to fight. Like, that's what fucking kind of crazy ass shit this fucking is. This movie's amazing. Even if you don't remember the 90s and you just like kind of over the top, crazy, funny as fuck movies, check out Psycho Goreman. But if you were a child of the 90s or even the 80s, if you remember the 90s fairly well, like you weren't a baby, but you remember them really well, then check this out. I think you're going to find something to like here. You can watch it on pretty much any service. It's supposed to be on Shudder, but I noticed it wasn't there the other day as of yet. It's supposed to be coming to Shudder. It was supposed to be coming there opening day, which was, I think, last Tuesday or Wednesday or something like that. But it wasn't there as of like Thursday or Friday. It may be there now. It's definitely worth checking out. But even if you got to rent it, it doesn't cost much. It's a few dollars on all the VOD platforms or the ones that I saw it on, and it is absolutely worth it. You will not regret it. It is such a good time, and it's ridiculously over the top. But definitely check out the little girl that plays Mimi in the main little girl in the movie. She is great. That kid is like she's got better comedic timing, and she can't be more than, I don't know, somewhere 12 or 13 years old maybe at best. She's got better comedic timing than half the comedians in Hollywood, especially now. Comedians really suck now. But yeah, Psycho Goreman, absolutely 100% worth checking out. So check it out when you get a chance. And check out my review. I have a review of it that I put up, so check that out. A little bit more detailed look into Psycho Goreman. So that is about it. I do have one more thing. I'm just going to give a tease here for the channel before I talk about a couple of things that will be going on this week that are coming and we get out of here. I have I didn't do the. I was asked for this. I had some people asking me about merch and my merch, which I do not have, but if I am ever going to make some or anything. So I started messing around with it. I had some people just requesting it, not like a ton of people, but I had a couple of people reach out to me and were asking about, was I ever going to do that? What would I do? Yada, yada, yada. So here's the beginning of that. This is not finalized. This is a really basic version, but I have started a merch store. It's not open to the public as of yet. I've put together a coffee cup. I actually like the coffee cup. I don't have a picture of it here. This is just a picture of the screen. That's why it looks kind of low res. But this is a shirt that I put together. I have some other ideas. I don't know. I felt really fucking weird doing this. I felt so weird making this stuff with I know that's not my image, but it is modeled after me. And just like putting my stuff on these shirts and mugs and shit like that. It made me feel really weird. I felt so vain in doing that and being like, oh, look at me, and shit like that. I don't know. It is, I guess it goes along with the territory. There were a couple of people that requested it, so I'll put it out there and see what happens. I don't expect these to be like huge sellers or anything, but if you're interested in merch that is surrounding my channel, I'm going to try and put something a little bit more creative than just my, logo. Maybe a picture of my review rankings or I don't know, something. But it's coming soon is my point. Merch is coming to my channel soon. Hopefully I will be able to complete this merch store and get it out to you guys quicker than I could get this podcast to you guys when I first announced it back in fucking September and just came out last week. But yeah, coming soon, merch for my channel. If you're interested in that kind of thing, it'll be available soon. Don't know when. Probably in the next few weeks. So that'll do it, guys, ladies, gentlemen. This week I got, like I mentioned a moment ago, I have the review of the movie Happy Cleaners that is not out yet. It comes out February 9th, I think, something like that. The beginning of February. A Korean-American drama, worth checking out. I got some other ones I need to check on before I mention them, because I did have 2 movies that I've already viewed that are embargoed, and I get them mixed up with others. I can't remember which ones it is, but I do know tomorrow morning I should be done with it by then. Worst case scenario, Thursday morning, my next in line for my video game movie review series number 48, which would be, what the fuck is the name of that movie? Assassin's Creed, number 48 in the video game movie review series. I think I'm down to less than 10 now, less than 10 to go until the end, because I'd already done some of the newer movies that are in the 50s and I think 60s. But I've got less than 10 movies to go with this series now. So it is coming to an end finally. But yeah, Assassin's Creed, that review will be up tomorrow or at worst case the next day. And I don't think there's anything really big I have coming next week off the top of my head. I've got a few screeners, but like I said, I don't want to mention which ones because a couple of them did have embargoes attached to them, and I don't want to talk about them if they're embargoed. I don't think there's anything wrong with talking about them. I just can't really say anything about them. But I don't even want to push that. I'm still kind of, I want to stay on my distributor's good graces. But yeah, reviews coming every week, or every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday. And I'll be this podcast, of course. That's something, the audio version of this podcast, maybe not this week's, but hopefully I'm working on, I've been contacting them and working on getting an audio version of it. I think by next week I should have it to where an audio version goes up the next day after the video version. I will be having a condensed version of this podcast going up, like a cut down version that kind of cuts out a lot of interactions and stuff like that and just kind of streamlines it all. That will be coming out in the next few days. Those of you that are here, though, you probably don't care about that because you're here. But and some other clips and things like that, just like I did last week. But beyond that, it's business as usual. And yeah, what are you guys saying over here before I get out of here? I usually hang out. Greg, I think you're the only new person in here today. Didn't get a huge turnout today. That's cool. This is still a new project. Only my second episode. Wasn't expecting a huge turnout. But you are new, and you're worth it. I gained a new viewer through you, so that's worth it. But I typically hang around, and we just kind of shoot the shit and talk and whatever for a while. But I got something I got to do tonight. Somebody, actually. So I didn't want to take all night. But I will be back tomorrow night. I always stream what I call Retro Wednesday on Wednesday nights at 9 o'clock. I play a new game. Not a new game. I play a different game every week. Usually more movie or film like games. Here recently I've been doing a lot of FMVs. This week we're doing it is a new game actually called 5 Dates. It's the first romantic comedy movie game. But that will be same place tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So if you're interested, come check that out, hang out. I will be talking later and longer tomorrow night. We usually go pretty late into the wee hours on that one. Let's see, what do we got? What are you guys saying over here? Oh, yeah. I'll definitely be back next podcast. I had a lot of fun talking about films. Thanks, short and sweet. Now, hey, hell yeah. Somebody get out the belt and teach me a lesson. What's short and sweet talking about over here? Sounds like a good film to make. Only take. Sorry. The kid in Psycho Gorman made the movie. Yes, she did. Absolutely. She was so good. Is this a weekly podcast? Well, Greg, this is the second one in the podcast. It will be a weekly podcast. As I know it seemed kind of scatterbrained tonight, and that's because I am kind of working out what's going to work, how this podcast is going to work. I will be having guests at some point in the film review community, I guess. I don't know, not really just reviews. I know a lot of people in the like YouTube and just film community, not film community, but the film reviewing community, the smaller film reviewing community. I'll be trying to get one of them on here each week once I kind of get things a little bit tighter here on the show. But yes, it will be a weekly thing unless it ends up just not working. Right now, it's pretty small. Like I said, this is the second episode, and but my Retro Wednesday thing, it's not huge, but it's a little. I usually get a bit more of a turnout on that, and like I said, we just kind of hang out and shoot the shit and play a different game each week. That's on Wednesdays, if the name didn't give it away. Frick you, frick me. That song. Oh yeah. At the end, or throughout, but at the end, they kind of like took it and like put a spin on it. And the movie actually turned out having, I mean, it was still kind of funny, but it had like a lot more heart than I expected. And I wasn't expecting to kind of be like, wow, that it, it hits you in the feels for just a second before it turns around and kicks you in the balls. I want a sequel where they make the monster braid hair and go to tea parties while he's mutilating Barbie dolls. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. This movie reminded me of Turbo Kid. Yes, Turbo Kid's fucking awesome. It's a must-watch if you haven't. Oh, I have. I've talked about Turbo Kid many a time. But Turbo Kid is fucking awesome. I actually have considered reviewing it at some point in time. I'll probably get around to it one day. Check out, if you like Turbo Kid, check out, and this is on YouTube. It's a short film. It was on Netflix too, called, Kung Fury. Check out Kung Fury. It's on YouTube. It's only about 30 minutes long, I think. 30, 40. Totally worth it. If you liked Psycho Goreman and Turbo Kid, Kung Fury is fucking amazing. It is so ridiculously awesome. This reminded me, yeah. What are your thoughts on Willy's Wonderland? We actually talked about that last week. I thought it looked like a cross between, like, kind of a Five Nights at Freddy's movie. But without the Five Nights at Freddy's license, because apparently they've been working on Five Nights at Freddy's movie for fucking ever and can't get it out. Maybe kind of like the Banana Splits movie, which I did a review of that last year, I think. Which Banana Splits was a good idea, but execution was I don't know. Nicolas Cage is just right for that. That movie will either, I think it's not going to be an in-between. I think Willy's Wonderland is going to be just fucking over the top, crazy Nicolas Crazy Cage, just goodness, like so fucking ridiculously over the top, it's awesome. Or it's just gonna miss the mark and it's gonna suck. I'm leaning more towards the awesome, because if anybody could make that work, it's Nicolas Cage. He's not for every movie, but that kind of movie I could totally see him making it work. Having kind of like if it has like a tone and a feel of that movie that he was in called what was it, Drive Angry. Not a great movie, but just not a bad movie either. But yeah, if it has like that kind of feel and that kind of drive, I think that it could work good. Let's see. What are your thoughts on? Oh, you're so humble, Jacob. That's adorable. What am I humble about? Oh, you're talking about the shirts? Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It felt really weird when I was sitting there, because I got a couple of those requests about it, and I mean, I thought, hey, well, that's cool. Somebody like is interested in merch for me. But then when I was sitting there making it, I just felt really fucking awkward. I just felt like, man, I feel super vain right now that I'm like putting my logo and my name and stuff like that on things. I don't know. Maybe it'll get normal after a while. Assassin's Creed was hot garbage. Yeah, I've already shot it. It's just, I've got to put like a couple of finishing touches on it. That's it. It's more or less cut together. It depends on if I feel like it after what I got to take care of tonight. But it was Assassin's Creed. The movie was pretty much. I feel about it now pretty much like I did when I first saw it. Just lots of money behind it. It looks great. It looked really good. It had lots of money, lots of good actors. Performances were fine, I guess, for what they had, but the movie was just, who cares? There's nothing going on there. I know the Five Nights at Freddy creator is very protective of his property, and they finally approved the script. I think it will be amazing. Five Nights at Freddy movie. If it ever gets made, they've been saying that thing was... I mean, they've been talking about it and saying it was in pre-production for fucking years. I don't know. Five Nights at Freddy's is one of those things, just like Willy's Wonderland, that I think could make a really cool movie, but it could just come off as the Banana Splits, too. If you look at the Banana Splits movie, it could work out that way. So that movie had some redeeming qualities, but it had a lot of issues too. Make her say your name. Blumhouse is ready to... I know, short and sweet. Blumhouse is ready to make it. It will be made, I'm sure. Oh, if Blumhouse is making it, then I mean, Blumhouse, what's his name? His first name, the Blumhouse guy, he actually does, it seems like, put some effort into the producing of the movies. Not saying that they've never released a bad movie, but it seems like Jason. It seems like that they actually care about the properties and try and give them what they need to actually cultivate a good film. We'll see. It could be. Blumhouse is where movies go to die? No, it's not. There's been some good Blumhouse movies. Wasn't The Invisible Man Blumhouse? Was it? I might be incorrect there. Upgrade. Yeah, Upgrade was fucking awesome. You were right, Greg. Upgrade was awesome. I don't have a ball here to look up. Yeah, Invisible Man was really good. Fantasy Island. See, you had to ruin the party, Alvin. And The New Craft. Okay, look. They got to make money. I haven't seen The New Craft. I heard about it. I had no desire to see it. I remember The Craft fondly for what it was in the 90s. I don't think it probably holds up as well now. And The New Craft, I was just like, what? I have no desire to see that. I enjoyed The Craft back in the 90s. I don't need a new Craft. And Fantasy Island, I actually never saw. I heard so many bad things about it. I actually would have reviewed it. It was right there around the pandemic starting, so I just never had enough. By the time I had a chance to where, okay, I can watch this thing now, it had been reviewed to death. I didn't really see a point in putting myself through that. They got some stinkers, but they did get Out in Us. Yeah, Get Out was really good. Us was really good. I liked Us too. I know some people have talked about Us being like the ending being kind of like not that good and everything. I actually liked Us. I thought it was original. I like original movies. It was original. It was entertaining. Lasted 20 minutes. Oh, you're talking about Fantasy Island? It's based on the show, isn't it? And the show was like a comedy show. There's that little guy, DePlane, Boss DePlane. I mean, I remember that show. That's the Fantasy Island it's based on, right? But it's like a horror movie. Or just a horrible movie. A24 has stinkers, but I like Lighthouse and Hereditary. A24 has really interesting movies. A24 makes some good movies. They make some really good movies. Did A24... I don't think it was A24 that made Archive. Archive was one of my favorite movies last year. But I'm not going to say it seemed like an A24 movie, but it was a really good movie. If you haven't seen Archive, check out Archive, by the way. And Possessor may have been an A24 movie. I don't know. A24 hadn't been putting out as much as they were. For a while there, they were on a roll, putting out tons of fucking movies. And The Lighthouse, I don't know how I feel about that movie. I didn't review it. I was going to, but I just couldn't review it. I couldn't say how I felt about it. I still don't know how I felt about it. I watched it. Some parts I just thought were great, and then other parts I was like, what's going on? I don't know. I still don't know if I like that movie or not. I mean, it was an experience, that's for damn sure, and you won't stop watching it. You might be wondering, what the fuck am I watching? But you can't stop watching it. And Willem Dafoe has some of the greatest fucking monologues ever in that movie. You like me cooking, right? Yes. You like me lobsters. Yeah, The Lighthouse is... I'm pretty sure I like it. I'm pretty sure I liked it. I don't know exactly why, but I'm pretty sure I liked it. That was something else. Archive was XYZ Films. Yes, it was. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they were they the distributor? I can't remember. Man, it's been a while since I watched that. It came out in August, I think. Color Out of Space was so good. That was on both of those movies. Archive and Color Out of Space were both on my top 10 of 2020. Color Out of Space was amazing. The acting was amazing in Lighthouse. It was something else. What was that movie I watched recently? I compared to Climate of the Hunter. That's one. If you like The Lighthouse, check out Climate of the Hunter. It's not as out there as The Lighthouse, but it's got some out there parts, kind of like it. It's Lighthouse light. You know what I mean? It was good. It's a good movie, I thought. If you like The Lighthouse, you'll probably like Climate of the Hunter. Greg, see, you really know your movies. I'm very impressed. Me too. You just threw that XYZ Films thing out right there. Unless you looked it up. But you know what? We're just going to say you knew it, man. Maybe you did. Thanks. Whenever I see an interesting movie, I see what else the studio produces. Right on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I know I usually hang out a bit more and talk. But like I said, I got something I got to go take care of. And I'll be back tomorrow night. We'll talk a bit later. Hang out for a while. Shoot the shit. Tomorrow night we're playing 5 Dates. The first, as far as I know, romantic comedy interactive movie. It's made by the same people that made last week's Late Shift and the week before that's The Complex. I'm pretty sure it's. I don't know if it's the developer. It's the same publisher. That's for sure. I think it's the same developers. It's a lot like that, or it looks like it. I've never actually played the game, but the first time I play it will be on Wednesday. But yeah, we'll do that tomorrow night back here at 9 o'clock as usual. I'll get some of this cut up and little pieces of it put up. If any of you didn't get to see the whole thing tonight, maybe you'll see some of the clips pop up throughout the week. And check out my Assassin's Creed review, number 48 in my series of video game movie reviews. Will be coming out either tomorrow morning or Thursday. Shooting for tomorrow morning, though. And then Happy Cleaners later on in the week. And some other shit coming for next week. And then, once again, just like I said last week, this was on Tuesday. I'm going to say it's probably going to be next Tuesday again. It might slide to Sunday night. I might slide this podcast to Sunday night as things kind of form for it and I kind of figure out the way I'm wanting to do it. But as of right now, I'm going to say it's Tuesday, but I will put all that stuff out on my Twitter and here on YouTube over the course of the next few days. And I hope to see all you guys there tomorrow night, and I hope to see you next week. Greg, it was nice to meet you. Thank you for coming in. Sounds like you know your shit when it comes to movies. Check out more of my content. Hope you enjoy it. As I said, though, if you go in there and that little 8-month glitch thing is going on, I do have videos beyond that. If you go way back to my early videos, though, sorry about that. We all started somewhere. But, yeah, glad to see you. Hope to hear from you more. And I look forward to chatting with all of you tomorrow night. Forgot what I was going to say there. All right, guys. Thanks. I'll see you guys next week. Keep it real. Peace.